He can't help himself when you say this to him. When you say these words, you can make a man start to feel emotions he may not have felt before with any other woman. It draws him in and it can make him hooked on you to see himself as your king, as your provider, as your hero, the man for you because of your feminine language. There's so much power in the word. Let's explore today. I'm Brody Boyd with Magnetize Your Man, and for 20 years combined with my wife, Antia, we've been helping thousands of successful women all over the world to get a loving, long-term, committed relationship with the man they want fast. So let's go ahead and dive into these powerful principles I have for you today and the language of desire, you might say. So what I'm going to share with you is the principle of honorifics. Honorifics is a specific way of talking to a man and using certain words with him that makes him feel what every masculine man desires: to be respected, to be honored, to be revered even for his masculine energy. Every man has a masculine core, every woman has a feminine core, and that polarity is what creates attraction, passion, love, and devotion, long term, especially in a relationship. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and show you some of these secrets that I have ready for you. Okay, so like I said, an honorific, and I got the official definition here so you understand what I'm talking about. So an honorific is a title such as Mr., Mrs., Doctor, Professor, and it's a term of respect, respectful language. So using respectful language of your man already by itself creates polarity, creates desire, creates devotion. And if you could do this regularly, you can sprinkle it in. This can dramatically magnify the passion that your man feels for you, and we can do it playfully. You could also do it seriously. I'm going to give you some examples of exactly how to do this. So let's continue our journey of desire here. So top honorifics to use with your man. So I'm going to give you some examples here of some words you can actually use, some honorifics, titles you might say, you can use with your man in a playful way. You can sprinkle them in because a lot of couples have pet names. A lot of couples already have names for each other. What I'm helping you here with is to be more intentional about it with your man. So let's give some examples and I'll explain more. So we have my hero, classic, daddy, champion, boss, Mr., his last name, such as Mr. Boyd, Mr. Bond, Mr. Flanagan, whatever his last name is, sir, Poppy, cowboy, doctor, professor, officer, your honor. So this would be other professional titles he may already have. Your man may already be a doctor or an officer or professor, some other profession that has a title that goes along with it. You can playfully use that and bring it into your relationship. Bring some spice into your relationship by using it. Master, stud, my king, my liege, my rock, my lion, stallion, lover, tiger, my knight in shining armor, commander, my lord, general, my protector, captain, my hero, Iron Man, Superman, sensei, my alpha wolf, my grizzly bear, Caesar, my dragon, gladiator. So as you can see here, these are basically like pet names, right? But these are intentionally masculine pet names. You are putting a masculine label on your man. What happens when you put a masculine label on your man? He starts to become more masculine. He starts to feel more connected to his masculine power with you, through you. Through you, he starts to feel honored, revered, respected, which is one of the greatest desires that a masculine man has. And then through that respect and honor and desire, what does he start to feel for you? Love. He starts to feel care. He starts to feel devotion. So you can bring these in. These are very masculine, let's say pet names, nicknames, but the proper title is honorifics. Some of them are more playful, like cowboy, but it's still a very masculine name, right? Stud. And the idea here is this is to help you get ideas. This is to help you get ideas for titles, honorifics you can start to use with your man. I'll give you some examples of how to do that in just a moment, but I provided a lot here so that you can start to think about it. Some of the more popular ones up at the top, a lot of variety here. And you can start to think about your man, your specific man that you're interested in, which of these might fit Which of these might he enjoy? Does he have a natural inclination towards one of these titles, one of these honorifics? And could that become your new pet name for him? Now, a lot of these pet names also you should play with. You should try them out with your man and see how it feels. See how it feels for you and see how it feels for him. See what his response is when you start to use some of these words like master, like stud, like my king, like boss, like daddy, like my hero. And you could also choose some of these that are related to something that happened in your relationship in the past or something related to what he already does for work. Maybe an inside joke of some kind that you both have. It's like something only the two of you know about. It's like that insider information that bonds you also through the language. So I'll give you some examples of what this looks like to actually. Oh, before I do that, I actually had some unique combinations I want to give you as well. Tiger Daddy. So you can actually combine these in fun ways. Tiger Daddy, my King Stallion, my Lord Protector, my Warrior King, Dragon Master. So you might notice some of these sound like romance novels, right? These sound like the kind of titles you would see in a romance novel, because what do romance novels do? They expand polarity. Almost every story, every popular story in a romance novel genre, as you probably know, you've probably read a lot of these potentially, they emphasize this polarity. The man in these stories is typically very masculine, almost extremely so, like he's a billionaire or a tribal warrior, or he's a king or a lord or a baron. So you can bring some of that spice, some of that romance energy into your relationship. Make your relationship into a romance novel. Why not? Have fun with it. These are like roles you can play even. This is on the brink of role playing, which can also be, as we know, very sexy, very fun for couples that can keep that passion alive, keep the spark alive. So have fun with it. Be creative with it. My Lord Protector, my Warrior King, Dragon Master, Panther Poppy, like that one, my Dragon King, my Knight Protector, Wolf Daddy, my Gladiator King, my Alpha King, my Thunder King. This could be literally the title of a romance novel. My Thunder King, my Steel Stallion, Iron King, my Alpha Daddy. You know, while we're at it, why don't we do this? Romance novel covers. Let's see. So this is the kind of energy I want you to bring into your relationship, like this. Let's pull it up here. Open image in a new tab. Oh, you can't really see it. This is the kind of energy you can bring. Look, the Duke and I, my Duke. Taming the Earl. Gentle Rogue. Wild in Love. So it's powerful, and this is the key. There's some parody ones in here, but this is the key. You know, we talked about cowboy. It's the key to bringing that spark into your relationship in a big way. This is the kind of passion you want to have. Why not bring it in? Why not bring it into the man you're having now? You could do it in a fun way, a flirty way, a playful way, but why not? What's it going to hurt? At the very least, it'll be something new in your relationship. It'll be a shift. It'll bring some variety, right? Here we go. The Gentle Rogue, the Pirate, and the Pagan. So passion. There we go. All right, let's go back to where we were. So now to continue with this, I'm going to show you some more examples here of how you actually can use this in sentences. So what it would sound like. Thanks, boss. Thanks, boss. Could we spend some time together tonight, Daddy? I love going out with you, my lion. Yes, master. Yes, champion. It excites me when you take control, Captain. See you tomorrow, lover. Hi, stud. Can I ask when we can next see each other, my liege? So these could all be little phrases, little words you can use, playful words, flirty words, passion words, desire words you might say in your text messages with him. Keep it brief. Or in person, of course. In person, you should. Even on the phone, you can use a lot of these. Where should I go next, Professor? Where should we go next, Professor? I so appreciate you helping me with that, my king. Wherever you want to go, Mr. Adams. Let's say if his name is Adams. So it's like a playful way to actually use his full name, which is much better than just saying James or Fred or Jack, whatever his first name is. Pretty please, Poppy. I feel so happy. You're always my rock. You're my hero. This is a classic one that we teach often. So use this one often because, again, what happens when you're using this language? You're inspiring him into these roles. You're inspiring him. You're changing his identity. You're actually shifting his identity to start seeing himself as a stud, as your captain, as your hero, as your poppy, your professor, your rock, whatever. Choose what works best for you above. But the idea is you're edifying him. You're lifting him up. You're honoring his masculinity. You're seeing his masculinity. You're seeing the king that lives inside of him, the commander that lives inside of him, and you're raising him up in that way so that he can be that for you. He can be your lover, your lord, your hero, your Superman, your superhero, your grizzly bear, whatever that might be for you. He can be that for you because you're shifting his identity. And then what is he more likely to do through the law of polarity? Because remember, the law of polarity, opposite energies attract. He's more likely to also treat you like a princess, to treat you like his precious sugar plum, his snookums. We have a lot of language down here, actually, of the reverse of this that we're going to go into next. So those are the example sentences. Let's go into the opposite of this. So a lot of women actually unknowingly are doing the opposite in their relationships. And they are calling a man titles, names, words that actually reduce his masculinity, that reduce polarity, that make him less of your hero, less of your protector. So we want to avoid that. So these are called pejoratives, which is disparaging and belittling titles, names, language. Also, another version of this is diminutive language, diminutive terms, which would be extremely or extraordinary small, or of being a suffix that indicates smallness, or by semantic extension, qualities such as youth, familiarity, affection, or contempt. So belittling him, making him smaller than you being the big one, you trying to put him down, trying to keep him small so you can feel safe, or you can feel like you're in charge or you're in control, but then you'll never have the polarity, and you'll have a little boy rather than a hero. You'll have a little child that you get to lead on a string, on a leash, rather than a man who is your lord, your savior, maybe not savior, we won't say, but your superhero, your protector. There we go, your knight in shining armor. That's the more appropriate, better term for that. So let's get into some of these can be. The top pejoratives, diminutives, and casualizers not to use with your man that a lot of women unknowingly do. This would be the opposite of what we're teaching here. This would reverse polarity and destroy polarity over time. Baby, honey, cutie pie, bae, boo, bro, dude, buddy. Now, of course, you might be shocked. These are pretty common, right? Women calling their guys baby or honey or bae or boo. It's very common, but again, what's happening here? What's happening? We're going back up here, right? Diminutive language, unconsciously, pejorative, belittling. And it may still feel like it's fun and whatever, it's cutesy, but do you really want your man to be a cutesy little baby? Or do you want your man to be your hero, your gladiator, your lord protector, your king stallion? So it's a question that every woman needs to ask herself. What kind of relationship do you want? And or no relationship, because oftentimes what happens more likely over time, because every man has a masculine core deep inside, even if he's deeply broken, well, maybe not deeply broken, but even if he's broken and if he's a more feminine man and he has other wounds, other trauma, eventually the polarity will still be diminished enough to where he will likely start pulling away. He will likely leave. He will likely lose attraction or fall out of love. So we want to avoid these things. This is a small shift, but it's also a big shift, because often small hinges can swing big doors. And so this can be a small hinge that can make a huge difference potentially in your relationship and in your romantic life. And you can use a lot of these terms, by the way, early on in dating for fun, more as a flirty way of talking to a guy that you like. I wouldn't recommend it potentially on the first date, but maybe on the second date, you can start to weave some of these in for fun in a flirty way and see how he responds. See what he likes, see what he does, because you'll probably find he's leaning in, he's getting turned on, he's getting excited, he's giving you his full attention because he's starting to notice your feminine energy. He's starting to notice your feminine core coming out, and he's living into that identity. So let's go back down here and continue the list. Bro, dude, buddy, or just his first name. Even if you just use his first name, like my wife, She hates it when our daughter calls her by her first name. And I used to do that when I was a child as well. I used to call my mom by her first name and I called my dad by his first name because I thought it was funny. But they hated it. Why did they hate it? Because it is, in a way, a form of disrespect. Like a parent wants their child to call them mama or dada or dad or mom, not by James or Sally or Susan. It's weird. It's weird. If you're a parent, you would know this. It feels weird, and it's actually, um, it's because of these reasons. It feels like now your child is trying to treat you like, in a way, like you're the child or like you're equals. It just feels weird because you want to be their father or their mother. You want to protect them and provide for them, and you don't want that to be blocked. You don't want those energetics to be blocked. Where now they're taking control. They're leading you by on the leash, and now they're going wild and things start to fall apart because there's no authority structure, there's no parenting structure in place. Now the same dynamic works in masculine feminine polarity, where the man, he wants to feel that he's respected by you deep down, and that's what unlocks his love. When a man feels deeply respected by his woman, his natural response is to start loving that woman, to start adoring her. So try to avoid it. Find a different name, find a different word, choose one of these other phrases than just using his first name. I mean, that's fine in the beginning when you're just getting to know him, but as you start to get to know each other, start to find something else. Find something that is expanding the polarity rather than keeping it neutral or diminishing it. Pal, champ, angel, honey bun, sweetie pie, cutie, sunshine, sweet cheeks, muffin, muffin pants. I think I used to call my wife, what was it? Sugar cakes or something like that. I used to call her sugar cakes when we were dating. So these are all great names, actually, for him to use with you, to expand you into your feminine. Sweetie pie, cutie, sunshine, baby girl, honey bunch, cupcake. But you want to avoid using these with him because now you're stepping into the masculine role. You're putting him into the feminine role in the relationship, which, occasionally you can have that fun dance. You can be cutesy. You can be flirty with each other. But we're looking towards these little things because women often come to us and are like, why is my relationship not working out? Why is he pulling away? Well, it's often because of these little things that are happening. And over time, polarity is degraded and now you're in a tough spot. Now he's fallen out of love, or he's pulling away, or he's not committing. And you don't know why. Well, oftentimes it boils down to these little things. Sugar plum, friend, pumpkin, cupcake, snugglebug, cuddle muffin, buttercup, pookie, toots, bunny, baby cakes, doodlebug, snookums. Yeah, this is one I think I used with my wife when we were dating. Baby cakes, doodlebug, snookums, lovebug, chickadee, peaches, cookie, cutie booty, or what we sometimes say, sometimes I'll cutie booty patootie. So these are classic pet names, right? Pet names are cute, they're fun, but they're not doing much for polarity. They're great actually if he's using these with you, and you could even ask him. You can say, "May I ask if you could call me something different? Can you call me whatever you like to be called? Baby, honey, sweetie, princess, whatever you like." Like let him know. Whatever expands your feminine energy, because the more feminine you get, the more he's going to be attracted and devoted, and also you're going to feel more like a woman. You're going to feel more taken care of. You're stepping into your role. He's going to be expanded more into his role as the healthy masculine, as the king, as a protector for you. You become the queen to his king, and now you're both in that dance together. The healthy, polarized masculine feminine dance. He's leading, you're following, he's giving, you're receiving, and now you have a great relationship. Now you have the flow happening again, the way God designed it, male and female, masculine energy and feminine energy coming together, just like the yin and the yang. That's what we're working on creating here. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you today. And just to know that you should have fun with this. Just try it out. What I would recommend, taking this information now, going through the list if you need to again in the recording, and picking a couple of them, picking a couple that resonate for you, that seem fun to you, that you want to start giving to your man, the honorifics that match, and start using them, practicing, and seeing how he responds, seeing what he does. Start out being just playful, being flirty. Yes, my king. Yes, sir. Yes, boss. And see what he does. See how he responds. He might give you a spanking. He may give you a hug. He might just smile. Or he may not like it, which is also a sign too. If your man doesn't like it, being called my king or my hero or my boss, that's actually an orange flag, potentially a red flag, because that shows you may be dealing with a broken man, Again, that's why we have our Magnetic Feminine 90-day challenge, because over time, when you're stepping in your feminine, you're using what we teach you, being respectful, vulnerable, connected to your feminine energy, using magnetic feminine communication and all the other teachings that we give you, the advanced principles. What does he do with that? How does he respond? Is he stepping up and becoming your man and taking care of you and loving you and adoring you and cherishing you and protecting you and wanting to make you happy? Or is he pulling away? Is he fighting with you? Is he getting angry? Is he getting upset? Is he withdrawing? That shows you what kind of man you're dealing with, because he may be deeply broken. There is a high percentage of men, maybe 10, 15% of men who are deeply broken, and they just can't, they're not capable of giving a woman what she needs and really taking care of you, because they're narcissists, they're sociopaths, they have deep wounds from childhood, they're extremely avoidant attachment style. So you have to find out sooner rather than later what kind of man you're actually dealing with. So that's why you want to practice these things. That's why you want to weave it into your relationship, into your connection with him as soon as you can. So you know what kind of man you're dealing with, and you start to expand that polarity early on and see if he's capable of taking care of your heart. Because if over time he's not adjusting, he's not stepping up into his masculine, and you're using all of these principles, these teachings that we give you in our courses, in our training, then he's clearly not it. And unfortunately, you have to be willing to move on. But that's how you maintain your value as a queen. So it's a very powerful principle. I'm going to start answering, I'll answer questions in the group if needed. So hope this was helpful. And for everyone who does have any questions or comments for today, go ahead and start posting them now. I'm going to start answering some questions. We'll go through them. And also, if you haven't yet, you want to get the advanced principles, make sure to take our free quiz. You can go to our website, magnetizeyourman.com, or click on the link in the description or comments below or in our bio to get the relationship you want with a man you want fast by using magnetic feminine polarity, magnetic feminine communication, and the whole enchilada in your relationship. We'll customize it for you, and it'll go very fast. And it's actually relatively easy once you make these shifts, but we have to make them. So, all right, let's start answering some questions here and see what's come in so far. And Marianne said, finally caught alive. Glad, Marianne, glad to have you here. And Kimberly said, me too. All right, Marianne also had a question. So she said, in a relationship with a man that seems to be avoidant, what would you say is a red flag? Should a woman avoid avoidance? Yes and no. So it depends on how avoidant he is. Here's the thing. Most men, even I would say most avoidant men, or slightly on the avoidance scale, which was me. I used to be more avoidant, and my wife was more anxious. But as we started getting to know each other, because of her feminine energy, because of the way she was being with me, I started to become more secure, and she started to become more secure as well. And we met each other in that area because of her feminine energy. So when you attract an avoidant man, or a man who is more avoidant, which also shows me that you also have some insecure attachment within yourself, likely, or you're putting out masculine energy or mothering energy or something else that is blocking you from attracting a healthy masculine man who's secure. But if you do attract an avoidant man, he may still be slightly avoidant. He may be slightly broken, but not deeply broken. And when you show up using what we teach you, when you're fully connected to your feminine core, you're using magnetic feminine communication, magnetic feminine polarity, and you are engaging him over a period of time with our magnetic feminine 90-day challenge, for example, he will start to become more secure. As long as he's not deeply broken, and if he has any level of care for you, he will start to become more secure as you connect with him. He will start to become more masculine as you connect to him. He will start to treat you better. He will start to step up and help you with things and want to help and want to be there for you and become the kind of masculine man you want, because that's how the law of polarity works. When you become more secure and more feminine, you start to attract men, or a man being more secure and more masculine with you. So it really starts with you being more in your feminine and securely in your feminine. Your man over time will start to meet you in his healthy masculine and being more secure as well. Or if he's, and this is the caveat, if he's deeply broken, if he's a super avoidant man, he has too much trauma, too many wounds, he has to do a lot of work on himself, he's just not there yet, he's not going to be able to step up. It's going to be like there's a block there. It's like there's a ceiling over his head. He can't get there, and he's going to either bounce, he's going to be gone, he's going to be gone, or maybe he'll break through. Maybe he'll break through the barrier, but he's either going to be gone, or he's just going to, or you're going to leave. You're going to leave because you can't deal with that anymore. You should leave. And so that's what the 90-day challenge is all about, is seeing what kind of man you're dealing with. Because if he is deeply broken, that is a red flag. If he's not showing any progress over the 90 days, any shifting when you use what we teach you and you show up properly and you've gotten the advanced trainings, the advanced principles, and some coaching hopefully around this for your specific situation. If he's not stepping up, he's deeply broken likely, or he has no level of care for you. But oftentimes it's not that. Oftentimes it's because he's broken, not because he doesn't have care for you, although that's sometimes the case. And that may be because, for whatever reason, maybe you guys aren't actually a match. You don't line up with deep values. You're not complementary in other ways. And or because you're not a match because, yeah, he doesn't want it. He doesn't want a relationship with you for whatever reason. And so that's also possible. But what we're looking for here is what kind of man you're dealing with. Because at the end of the day, it almost doesn't really matter what kind of man what's going on for him, why he's not showing care for your heart. Oh, that's what I was going to say earlier as well, is that if you've put out too much masculine energy, if you've disrespected him, or if there's too many wounds in your relationship up to date, he may not be able to move past that. Hopefully he will over time, but the damage may be too great that he can't get over it. He can't move past it. And that's a possibility as well. But in most cases, it's because he's deeply broken. That's why he's not stepping up. And you can't fix him. You can't be his mommy. So he has to do that work on himself. All you can control is yourself. You can't control him. And the more you try to control him, the more avoidant you're going to make him, the more you're going to push him away, likely, or start an argument or start a fight. All you can do is control yourself and how you're showing up in the relationship. And then the rest is up to him. The rest is up to God. Like, he's got to make those shifts on his own. He's got to be inspired to change on his own, which he likely will be. Again, if he's not deeply broken, and if you're in your feminine, he's going to be inspired to want to do better. Like, I want to be better for you. I care about you. I want to make you happy. And I'm screwing up, so I want to change that. I want to do better. And then he will. He will make those shifts. He will read a book. He will get help. He will practice. He will try. He will put in real effort into your relationship. That's what you're looking for. Is he actually putting in that effort? Because if he's not, then that's it. And you have to be willing to walk away, because it's abusive and it's uncaring to yourself to stay in a situation like that. And then you got to also work on yourself too. That's what you're doing here. You got to invest into yourself financially, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. Bring the energy back to you. Become the best woman you can be, reconnecting to your deep inner feminine core, who you really are as a woman, who you were born as, who you were born to be and stitched together in the womb as. That's who you need to become. And then by becoming that light, by radiating out from your feminine, you will attract better behavior from him, and you will attract better men into your life. High quality, hero, kingly men who want to lead, protect, provide, and help you and be there for you and show you that deep love and caring devotion because of who you're being, because of your shifts. That's the law of polarity. Opposite energies attract. Opposite energies attract. You becoming more feminine is going to attract more healthy masculine men. But you got to make those changes on your own. You got to be willing to face the fears, face the blocks, heal your own wounds, which is what we help a lot of our clients with as well. How to heal those deep wounds that you may have so you can be a healthy woman and have the relationship of your dreams. All right, let's see. We have another question. Fruitful Heart said, do you think saying, yes, my love is okay? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I would even mix it in sometimes and say, yes, my lover, because love it's good, but it's not necessarily an identity that he gets to step into. Because what does it mean to be a love? And is that it? You just want him to be love, or you also want him to be strong? You also want him to be capable. You want him to be protective. You want him to be giving. Well, love is actually pretty giving, but there's other masculine traits you likely want in him. So I would use that phrase, but you can also mix in some of the other ones, like king, like daddy, like captain, like my superhero, just for fun. Be playful with it. It can be very sexy. It's like a mini role play, like I said. But yeah, love is okay. My love, and I would watch out, because the other ones, it could become a slippery slope. My love can also be easily turning into honey or baby or cutie or sweetie. So watch that slippery slope. We want to keep it, give him an identity to live into, give him something to aspire into. Even if he's not fully that yet, he may not be a billionaire or a king empire builder in his normal life. Maybe he just has an average job, but he can be a king for you. He can be an emperor for you. He can be that hero, a superhero for you. So give him a strong identity, a powerful identity to live into. And this was one of the big principles in that classic book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, is give someone uh, a title to live into. Give them a beautiful name to live into, and they often will because they want to be better. Most men want to be a hero. He wants to be a king. He wants to be better. If he has any level of connection to his masculine core, and if he's not deeply broken, he wants to be a better man. So help him in that. You're not helping him as a therapist or as a teacher for him. You're helping him as being an inspiration, as sharing your feminine light and the way you see him. That's an honor in itself. Honoring him. That's how you help him. That's how you inspire him. Honoring and respecting his masculine core. Risa said, "Hi Brody, I love him, but my gut is telling me to let him go. Should I ask him for advice or detach from the outcome? Like, don't mention my feelings. Thanks." It depends. It depends on how long you've been together. It depends on the reasons why you think you need to let him go. If he's a deeply broken man, or if he's just not showing any care for your heart. And if you've done the 90-day challenge that we have, then it becomes very clear. Yes, you should walk away. But unless you've done those things, if you're not fully connected to your feminine, if you haven't used magnetic feminine communication properly, if you haven't got some coaching around this for your specific situation and all the details of that, we don't know. It could go one way or the other. It may be that we just need to have a powerful conversation with him using magnetic feminine conversation, sharing your feelings, like you said. That could be the answer. Maybe that will shift him. Maybe you have to do our other big apology process where you come clean with the ways you've been in your masculine energy, where you may have been disrespectful or trying to lead him or control him or manipulate him or treat him like a baby, mothering him, etc., giving too much to him. Then likely he will be pulling away because of those things. And so we need to reverse that and shift it so that he's coming back to you. That could be the case. So it really depends on what you've already done, what you've already tried, how long you've been trying it for, to give him a chance to step into his healthy masculine. And then if not, then we have the answer. But that's really the key for those things. Mighty One said, "Would you suggest using these playful names with an avoidant? It almost feels like it's not genuine after he doesn't call or text." So yeah, if he's not responding to you and you continue to say things like my king, my hero, and you're just messaging him these things, it's probably not going to do much. Like, this works best when there's some kind of engagement, when you guys are having a conversation or an interaction of some kind. If he's reached out to you, or if he sent you a photo, or if you're hanging out together, that presents all kinds of opportunities for you to use these nicknames, use these honorifics titles with him that can expand the polarity, expand the connection, the attraction. But yeah, if he's deeply wounded and if he's not showing you any kind of attention or care, then that's a better opportunity to share your feelings and to use magnetic feminine communication and be vulnerable with him and make a request of some kind, to ask for a phone call, or to ask if we can meet in person, or to ask if you can share your feeling with him. And then when he says yes, which hopefully he will, then you have the opportunity to start sharing those things, because that's giving him the opportunity to be your hero by helping you with a problem and by helping to solve a problem for you in your relationship. So that's going to be more powerful than just sending him sexy nicknames. And so yeah, you want to instead ask him for help, like let him actually be the hero. And then after he's helped you, after he says yes to the call, you've had the call, then you can say, I feel so special. Thanks for being my hero. Or thanks for helping me with this. I feel loved. Or, you're such a great you're my superhero for listening to me like this. Something like that. You want it to be authentic, but also find opportunities where you can appreciate him and weave in these nicknames. But he should do something for you first. There should be some kind of exchange where he's giving to you. That then makes more sense to use these titles, these honorifics with him to expand the polarity even more. So that's what I would recommend, and hope that helps. Ariana, did I miss the Q&A? Nope, we're doing it right now. So go ahead and post your question. I think you did. And then we're going to wrap this up pretty soon. And the Fruitful Heart said, thanks for that. You're welcome. Risa said, you're right. Thank you. You're welcome, Risa. All right. And then Adriana said, how do I know if the one I want to be with is feeling the same about me? You have to do the 90-day challenge. Well, it depends on how long you've been seeing him, because the 90 days is a rule of thumb. It works best for most relationships. But if you've just started seeing a guy, or if you haven't talked for a while, it may just be a 2-week challenge. It may be a 1-month challenge. So how do you know if he's feeling the same about you? Is through his actions. Is he showing care for you? And the way you know that is by sharing your feelings. So you have to share your feelings and ask for help. Use magnetic feminine communication like we'll teach you, and like we'll give you coaching around in our groups, in our communities. We'd love to have you in there and learn how to properly use magnetic feminine communication, how to ask a man for help respectfully and vulnerably and openly, how to ask and share what you need, what you desire, how to share a feeling with him, to let him in, to let him see your heart, which is the ultimate thing he wants as a man, as long as he's not deeply broken, and be able to give to you, be able to help you. And that's what we're looking for, is over the period of the challenge, over that period of time, is he showing care for your heart? Yes. Or is he not showing care for your heart? No. And if he is, great. If he's starting to make progress, great. That's a sign he has feelings for you. And he's feeling the same way about you because he's showing it with his actions. He's helping you. He's giving you tips. He's giving you advice. He's wanting to lead. He's wanting to protect. He's wanting to listen to you. He's wanting to help you with your feelings and be a better man on his own. Not because you told him to, but because you're being vulnerable, sharing your feelings with him respectfully. He gets to feel your heart and he feels empathy and he's inspired to want to be a better man for you. He's inspired to want to help on his own because he chose you as a free, empowered man. And he's now choosing to be your hero voluntarily. That's when it sticks. And that's also how you know he really cares. Now, if he's not, if he's brushing you off, if he's not responding, if he's being uncaring, if he's being hurtful, abusive, then clearly he doesn't care for your heart. Now, you have to see this over time. You have to see this over time, typically, but that's why you want to give it a chance. But if you ever feel like you're in an abusive or unsafe situation, you should get out right away. Don't stay in an abusive situation. Like, get out right away. If it's not that, and it's just kind of not really connecting with you well, then give it some time. Give it some time to give it some practice for him to step into his healthy masculine, and then go from there. Then you can make your decision from there, whether he actually cares or not. We'll have to see. It could depend on if he's broken or not. So that's the big key with that, Adriana. I hope that was helpful and made some sense. And then, yeah, when you use that process, you will be surprised how often a man will step up. He will show care and devotion for you, and you'll have a loving relationship. So that's really what this is all about and what we're really helping you with to get in your world. So we're going to wrap this up for today. But again, if you want to take this to the next level, if you want to learn the advanced principles and get our top recommendation for you to make that happen in your relationship, get his desire, his devotion, his love amplified for you, then take our free quiz. That's where it all starts. Click on the link in the description or comments below, or you can go to our website, magnetizeyourman.com, or click on our bio to get that right away. We'd love to help you. We'd love to have you join our community and learn these principles because it's a way of life. It's a way of being in your feminine, being this kind of woman, this special woman that is so rare out there, that then he starts to treat you like a queen. Then he starts to treat you like diamonds because of how you're showing up, because your heart is that diamond for him and how it's presented to him. So much love. Take care. Hope this was helpful. And I'll talk to you again very soon. Bye-bye.